All right, everybody, welcome to our very first movie night of the Midnight Movie Club.
I'm so nervous. What did we screw it up, dude? What did we screw this up?
We're not gonna screw it up. All right, everybody, you guys are just down to have a good time. We're all here for fun. It's gonna be great.
Are we
Oh
allowed
man,
to cuss? Yes or no?
yeah, I think so. I mean, we're watching Scream.
Oh my
It's
god,
blood and
the
violence.
chat is going so fast. I'm gonna have a seizure. I
I know. Hold
cannot.
on. Let
I
me.
cannot watch the chat like that.
I'm gonna see if I can slow it down a little bit.
No, you can. I mean, let them
Just
let
let
them
it go.
scream at
Okay.
me. Let them scream as much as they want. Scream. You see what I did there? Scream,
That's the theme. That's the theme. Well, thank you everybody for
dude.
showing up. Jeez, wow, look at this. Like 300
Look
people
how
here.
many
This is
vamps are
crazy.
here too. That's my favorite
Yes.
part.
I love that they're showing up.
What's up,
Um,
vamps?
welcome,
Throw your
Vamp
vamp
fam.
down. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
literally getting off of the chat, so I can't even. I'll just look at the faces.
Well, I got to go to the stage so I can pull people up. So I'm going to be looking in there. So
What?
you'll have to pop it in the chat. I'm going to like look at the stage version.
Okay,
You
I'm
click
going to
on
this.
the main stage.
I'm
Yeah.
going
So,
to.
and if you open the side, you'll see all the people raising their hand. So yeah, so for those of you who are just joining us and have no idea what the Midnight Movie Club is, we are a community of people that love film. We're both movie makers and movie lovers. And this project, it's an NFT project, and the whole purpose of it is that we want to be able to make awesome movies. We're just tired of like crappy movies coming out and like sitting on Netflix or Amazon, whatever, just all night scrolling looking for a good movie, and there's nothing to find. And then you do watch something, and it's not good. So we started this project. The goal is, we're gonna release the NFT, and then the money that we raise will be used to make some movies. And you guys are actually going to help us make those. We're going to have a community DAO where you guys can vote on all kinds of things throughout the process. We're going to have you guys actually picking some of the movies that we make. We're going to have pitch sessions where we will literally have 3 to 5 filmmakers pitch their movie, give you some sample script scenes and a pitch deck, and then whatever the community votes for, that's the movie that we're going to fund and make. And then you guys are going to be making decisions all along the way. We're going to have casting choices, wardrobe choices, all kinds of fun stuff, lots of really inclusive events, and like little challenges and contests to have stuff that you guys will actually create that'll wind up on screen. Like, well, if any of you guys are graphic designers, you might see some of your stuff in the background or even featured on maybe like a character's shirt, a poster on their wall, whatever it might be. But we just want to get you guys involved and let everyone have the opportunity to have a say in making movies.
And
So
what
Matt,
kind
you
of
want to say
movies?
anything?
What kind of movies do we want to make, Bill?
Well, we want to make fun genre movies. Yeah, we're not doing like art house like dramas or anything. We're
We are
doing
not. We
fun.
have no intention of winning an Academy Award. That's for sure.
No, yeah, definitely not. We are looking to do horror, sci-fi, like
Thrillers.
thrillers, action. Yeah, we want that like sort of like 80s style, like Vestron canon films, like just the movies that were just fun to watch, the ones that you always go back to, like the classic stuff. That's our goal, is to find some really cool filmmakers that are really excited and passionate about making those kind of movies, and we want to find an audience that also wants to make those movies and be a part of it.
Yeah, it's really about community. I think that, when Bill first approached me with the idea, he was talking about NFTs, and my misconception of an NFT was it was just an expensive JPEG that people put as their profile pic. And the more he sort of explained the utility behind NFTs and the growth of and the DAO and everything that's happening in the space, it just became obvious to me that. And then looking at the Vamp community, I mean, talk about an example of like a community that comes together, that that does good, that's engaged, and offers more than just sort of a collector's piece. So the idea of gathering people together in the name of making movies, not in the name of Matthew Lillard, but in the name of like, how do we go out and make movies? How do we support filmmakers? How do we do indie films? Sort of going back to independent voices and letting creative people make creative movies, and just trying to bring to market kick-ass films that we like to see.
Absolutely.
And then success, right? All the money we make from movies, the waterfall, that movie goes back into the community wallet. We'll keep making movies. I mean, that's our goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to keep it going. And we also want to offer some other stuff too. So we know, film school is expensive. Like, I had so much debt coming out of film school. So part of it is we want to have what we're calling the night school. So we're going to have little tutorials on like different how-to stuff. We'll bring in producers to teach you how to do a budget or a schedule. We'll do AMAs with industry professionals, so you guys can ask questions to like agents or managers, all those kind of things. Like, or whoever you guys want to hear. If like there's someone you want us to try to get a hold of, we'll reach out and try to bring those people on so you can ask questions. And again, like, we're going to be making movies. So if you're in the city where we're going to go shoot some of these, because we're going to, expand out and go to places where there's tax incentives, which, always saves money for the film, especially when we're doing low budget movies. We want to bring some of you guys on to get that set experience that like is, very hard for people that are trying to break into the industry to actually get. So if, you're in our department, we'll bring you on there. If you're more into directing, we might get you to shadow a director, producer, writer, whatever you're interested in. We want to like support the community and like, kind of harvest the next generation of filmmakers.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And by the way, the funny thing is that we started, just so everyone knows, we started on Monday. We started with 34 people. I tweeted about it. I got kicked in the face for starting an NFT because everyone in the world thinks I was out grabbing money. And we took Tuesday and just sort of reset our expectations and convinced just kind of give ourselves a pep talk to go back and continue on this journey because we really believe that we're trying to do something different. We're independent. We're a decentralized movie studio, and it's never been done before. And people are making things using NFTs, but we want to continue making them. So here we are on Thursday, and we have 1,000 people, and so we're really excited. So with the success of tonight's event, we're hoping to announce an event next week to continue to build the space until we get enough people in the space and enough people interested to mint. So
absolutely.
So we're already planning our next event for next week. So there you go.
Yeah, it's so crazy, like the growth that we saw. I mean, just look at the number, 1.25K. Dang, that's crazy. I think we had like 300
from 38. From 38, we're like, oh my god, we're so stupid. Everyone hates us too.
Yeah.
Where we are now, which is pretty. I'm super excited. And when we got to 300 people, I'm like, oh my god, we're doing it now. Like today, it's just been crazy.
So anyways, nuts.
Yeah, but
cool.
Listen, I think that we'll stay. Bill and I will stay afterwards. I'm getting up to I'm screening it in my room. Like I've got my projector out. And I'm screening it. I haven't seen Scream since the 20th anniversary.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I saw Scream, the new Scream 2 nights ago. Which was great. And I saw Kevin Williamson there. And the last time I saw this movie was with Kevin Williamson, and he and I hosted the 20th anniversary screening. So I haven't seen it since then. So it's going to be fun to sort of sit down and watch. And I've also never talked through an entire movie. Are we supposed to talk the whole time? How do we get an answer on that?
Well, look, I mean, we have all these people raising their hands, so we'll just call people up and answer questions. It's going to kind of be like a live commentary track, like when I'm watching it on DVD. So like I missed the commentary track stuff. And that's another thing we want to bring back with the Midnite Movie Club is that once the films are done, we want to bring back special features. So like all of our members will have access to commentaries, behind the scenes, deleted scenes, like all that fun stuff we want to bring back because like you don't really get that with Amazon and Netflix anymore. And I kind of missed that because that to me was film school growing up, which was like getting that new special edition DVD and like all those bonus features, just digging into those. So yeah, I'm hoping that my DVD isn't scratched and it like kicks out in the middle of the movie. But yeah, I'm going to try to play this on DVD tonight.
I just literally opened, they sent me like, they just re-released like the new 4K version of Scream. They sent me a bunch of them. So I opened one today. I don't think I've watched a DVD in like, in years. I don't think I've watched one in years. So
yeah, it's gonna be great. Cool. So
okay,
yeah.
So
do we just started?
So we have to start at the same time. How do we get everyone on the same page?
We just do a countdown, right? Like we do a 3, 2,
I know.
1,
like where are you compared to where I am?
What do you mean?
Well, so I'm like, so here's what I did. I went.
The DVD just automatically. The DVD just plays and it'll just start showing the Dimension logo. So I'm at 000. I was gonna hit play. And if we're off by like a second or two, like I think as long as everyone's pretty close, we'll be all right.
Hold on a second. I gotta go get batteries. I'm watching on my PlayStation, so I gotta get batteries because my battery's just died. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Technical difficulties. I'm very old. Hold on a second.
You're leaving me hanging. Oh wow! Wow. We got like 350 people here. That's awesome. Thank you guys for showing up. Hope you guys are all excited. Yeah, it would be great if you guys stuck around and came to more movie nights and stuff. We're gonna have a lot of fun events planned. I think we're gonna do some trivia nights too. Matt's gone. I wonder if I should bring someone up if anyone wants to talk, but I'm sure they all want to talk to Matt, not me. It sounds like he's back.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
All right, cool.
But I gotta put the batteries. Hold on a sec. This is gonna take 1 second. Vamp.
This is what everybody came here to hear: is you putting batteries in the remote.
Yeah, and me like,
Love it.
sorry. If everyone hates
Oh,
me, please don't hate me.
While you're waiting, guys, I'm looking in the our Twitter account is only 98 followers. Let's go blow that up. We got 1.2 thousand people in the Discord, but Twitter's not getting any love. We gotta post some more stuff though. But yeah, we kind of avoided
We
Twitter
suck
after
there.
Matt.
We suck there.
Yeah.
After we got punched in the mouth. All right, who's ready to start? Okay, I'm gonna push start in.
Ready?
Are you ready?
Are you on? Wait, but is yours gonna bring up a menu or?
No, I'm gonna. When I'm at triple zero.
Okay.
My running time's 1:51:02. Is that you?
I don't know. You got like a special edition where they put like deleted scenes back in because that'll throw the whole thing off.
Well, then we'll just skip over them.
We're just gonna risk it. We're just gonna risk it. Roll the dice. All right. So you're gonna press play. All right, everybody. I'm gonna do a countdown. All right. We'll do 3, 2, 1. Press or 3, 2.
What do we go on?
Let's go on 0. 3, 2, 1. Press play.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Play. All right.
Dimensions
all right.
up.
Dimensions logo.
Up.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. We're good.
You're on films and out. We're good. Yes.
The phone. Yeah. There's the title.
Okay. Now I'm gonna shut up. I don't want to ruin the movie.
You want to like play the opening? We gotta talk at some point.
But let's just watch the opening scene for a second.
Okay. I'm gonna lower my volume so there's no like echo of Drew.
So the first time I met Drew Barrymore, we were on a movie with Chris O'Donnell. What was it called? I forgot what it's called. And she was picking her nose hairs. I literally was like, "Oh my God, you're Drew Barrymore. You're from ET, and you're picking your nose hairs." And she had 0 Fs to give.
That's amazing.
That's the kind of information you come for when you're dealing with the Midnite Movie Club.
Yeah, you're getting all the juicy tidbits. Where were you guys at when you filmed this? This was like Northern California, right?
So we shot up in Sonoma, like in the wine area, and it actually became we went to the California State Supreme Court for First Amendment rights because we were shooting in the school in Sonoma, and then somebody read the script and they said, "There's no way we're shooting this in our school." And so, like a week before shooting, we started to scramble for a new location, and it went all the way to the California Supreme Court.
Oh wow, that's insane!
But we ended up. I mean, obviously, we ended up finding a place, but it was an hour away from where everyone was staying.
Oh dang! Yeah, I used to work in locations. I know that'd be a headache.
At the 11th hour, like all the permits, everything.
Oh.
So here's why I think the movie works: is because this opening sequence is so incredible. I think this is Wes Craven at his best, and I think it sets the entire tone for the movie. Which it just gives you room to add fun, for it to be funny, to be charming, to be the kids, because you've been so freaked out in this first 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's the buildup, and it's also like the craft of it. It's like he's walking through the space, so you get the layout of the house. So like when all the action starts happening, she's getting chased. You're familiar. It doesn't feel like jarring or disorienting. It's great. Like everything is just so set up with the Steadicam shot. Now I remember like when this came out, like they like kind of advertised that like Drew was like the star, and it was like a huge shock when. Oh, I don't want to give. Is there anyone that hasn't seen it? Can I say spoilers? Like
they should not. They should not be on this thing because I'm going to ruin the whole movie. Well, here's the funny thing.
You didn't know that, right? Like we didn't. Like everyone in the audience.
No,
like,
the whole movie. The whole movie was told on Drew's face.
Yeah.
It also came out like right after Christmas, and people were like, we thought they were dumping the movie because they hated it.
Oh yeah.
And they were just cross programming. Yes. So Roger Jackson, who's the voice of Ghostface, was on set and was calling her on the phone. So
that's awesome.
She had something to work with the entire time. And this whole sequence took like it took like a couple days.
God, his voice makes this movie too.
I don't know. I don't want to talk. It's so good. I don't want to talk.
I know.
So at some point in the middle of the movie, they tried to pull our financing, and in pulling the financing, legend has it. I don't know how much of this is true, but Marianne and Wes cut together this whole opening sequence, and Kathy Conrad, those are our producers, and Wes Craven. They cut together this whole opening sequence and showed it to the executives, which then they gave us enough money to finish the film.
Oh, it's awesome. So is this the first thing they shot? So or they
It
already in the
is,
can, obviously.
yeah. It shot
Oh,
the
wow.
whole. This is where they shot, and they spent a long time. This is a long sequence to shoot for the movie. I want to say it was like 4 days, but I'm not sure.
Oh, wow. And how did it work? Because I remember hearing stories that like nobody in the cast knew who the killers were at the end. So like, did you
No,
only get
that's not
part of the
true.
script? Oh, it's not true.
No, everyone knew. Yeah, because it was like it
Okay.
was so. I mean, I'm going to tell you exactly. All of the sort of like legends, like there's a bunch of stuff out there that just
Yeah,
that aren't
let's do
true.
some
I
myth
mean,
busting.
for the
Let's do some myth
300 people, 366 people in the chat, I'll tell you what I know. But
busting.
yeah, the script came out, and she's so good, so good. The reason she's so good is her energy is so high.
Yeah.
She's like, it's not this quiet little demure kid. Like she's screaming back and fighting. I mean, I don't know. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is the whole movie to me. I think this is where we set the tone for the whole film. Now this is crazy. So he I'll tell you in a sec when we get to the part.
Okay. Were you there for the shooting of this? Like, did you go hang out or?
This came. I think we shot the movie. I think the movie altogether was like 5 weeks. And they shot this by themselves for a week, and then in fact, I knew Drew from God, what was the name of the movie? It was me, Chris O'Donnell. We were oh God, I can't remember the name of it.
The chat's probably blowing up with what that movie is.
I know exactly. But
I'm gonna try to Google it well.
they were off by themselves doing it, and so the whole movie I think was like 5 weeks or 6 weeks. I can't remember, but the whole opening sequence was shot in a week, and they were all together. None of us were there yet. I mean, these sequences, because they're so, it's such an elaborate sequence. It's so long. I mean, it's like I think I don't know how long it is, but it's such a long sequence. It took a long time to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, we're already 7 minutes into the movie.
Yeah,
and like,
right.
Nowadays they want. Nowadays they want like they want like, oh, we already want to be at the inciting incident. We want to have like this happening. Like everything's so rushed nowadays. They don't take the time to like build up.
No,
like
there's
this.
no patience. People are, and look, and this is like I said, I think this is Wes Craven at his best. The crazy thing about Scream is that I think that people forget is that Wes was towards like sort of he was on such a. Sorry, I'm watching.
Oh, you cut out there. What'd you say?
No, he was on. He was so Wes's career had been. He had gone through like all these hits, like right, and at this point in his career, like when I got the movie, I was like, oh, it's a Wes Craven movie. That's cool, but it wasn't like.
He wasn't. It was like
he wasn't what he was like 10, 15 years before this movie.
Yeah,
and then what he was after this movie.
And at that time, like horror was not like really being made mainstream. No. Like you guys revived that whole genre. If you like look at that decade.
So this is so the movie was. I was making a point about Wes. I forgot because I just that's the kind of brain I have. But so in the sequence where his guts fall in the original version, you could see the guts fall and move to the ground.
Yeah, I remember that from the deleted scenes. Yeah, that was
and that's DVD what gave us an NC-17 rating. So the movie came out as NC-17. I mean, the first time I went through, it was NC-17 rating, and it was NC-17 rating because of that. And at the end sequence with the blood dripping, the sound of the blood and that the action of gravity on his guts are the two things that they cut to get it back down to an R rating, which is
wow. And now you can see that
crazy
stuff on like The Walking Dead every week.
Well, yeah, and now you watch. I mean, I just saw the 5th one, and it's violent. I mean, it's a violent movie. Oh my god! Sorry, tell me what. I was scared. Scream at movies a lot. But I was saying something about Wes.
No, they never had. You guys never wore the costumes, right? They had a stunt person always doing that.
No, we wore the costume one time. Skeet and I both wore it at the same time. Not the same time, but in the same scene.
Oh, okay. You can tell us when that scene pops up. We want to see which one's you.
It's not for a while.
Oh, okay.
But there's a reason I was talking about Wes. I forgot what it was.
Oh, you're just saying about like his career at that time and when you got the script, and just how he's planning this opening shot.
Oh, that's what it was. So yeah, so the open. So when I got the movie, I went and auditioned for Billy Loomis, and they said to me, "Hey." And in reading the script, it was like when you read the script, you knew like this is the sequence you end up reading at the opening of the movie, and you're like, "Oh my god!" It was so terrifying. And
like they
reading
say, the first 10 pages of the script are the most important. Keep people reading.
And these 10 pages were like incredible. So I went to audition, and in the audition, the casting director said to me, "Hey, do you? I don't think you're right for Billy." Oh my god! Oh. Go, Drew! Go, Drew!
Go!
He's dead! Oh no!
They're right there! Hurry!
Stop and crawl! Oh god, she's a goner.
And this speed ramp right here. Oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh, boo! Oh god, boo!
Look at that. That was one shot. Nowadays, that would have been like 4 shots.
But he would have just kept chopping and chopping and chopping. Ew. God,
so did Wes like tell you throughout like, hey, in this scene you're the killer, in this scene like because you guys weren't playing that. Okay, so who kills?
So hold on a sec. So going back,
okay,
you're like audition for Billy Loomis, and then I auditioned like, yeah, you're not gonna get Billy Loomis, but hey, come back and audition for Stu, and but we're having a casting session in like 3 hours with Wes Craven. Will you come back? And I was like, yeah. So I stayed in my car and memorized the lines for Stu. And then I met Wes. And
do you remember what scene it was? What scene was it that they gave you?
I don't I think it was the scene around. Oh, she's dead, bro. It was a scene around the fountain.
Oh, okay.
Leave her alone. But I actually, the only time in my life I think it's ever happened, I actually got the job in the room.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he gave me the job in the room. So, but I knew I was the killer. Like, you read the movie, we read the movie, and everyone, because it was so, oh god, so brutal. It's such an incredible scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we knew from the get-go. But back in the 90s, right? Nobody was hiding scripts, and that was the point.
Yeah.
That was the point of Wes. Wes was at a point in his life where you're like, he wasn't like the hottest director in the world, and this movie was like, it revitalized him. So when he was making this movie, nobody cared. It wasn't like there was a bunch of executives on the set trying to tell you what to do.
Yeah,
right? Because they were like kind of like, just go make the movie.
Yeah, times were different back then.
Times were way different. Yeah. And I think that's sort of like kind of one of the. Look at the computer, by the way.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
It's kind of like what we're doing with Midnite Movie Club, right? The idea of giving creatives the ability to be creative and go make the movie they want to make is the idea. Like, part of the problem with movies right now is that they're being guided by people that just want to make money.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. Just going to pitch these movies and the notes that you get, it's just like, Between me and my friends, we share horror stories of our pitches, and I don't know, it just makes you want to drink. It's terrible.
They're so young. It's so fun.
So wait, so was it you or Skeet that killed Drew? Whose character?
Oh, so the answer to that is nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Okay.
Nobody I wish to God. I wish for every fan out there. God bless you all. I don't know who's still here. If anyone's still in the chat. But are people still here? Oh yeah, we're adding people. That's good.
People listen. Yeah.
But we nobody knew. Nobody. It wasn't discussed.
Okay, so it wasn't like tracking it like, hey, during this scene, you're over here, you're over there. It was just.
Saying that I was talking to Kevin Williamson, and he was like, "Yeah, I have no idea either." So Kevin's like, "Yeah," and I know the fans want there to be like they want there to be an answer that this is who's doing this, and it is. I
think it's kind of fun for the fans to kind of figure it out themselves and come up with their own theories. Once you give a concrete answer, it's like, well, that's just it, and the fun goes away. But like, I don't know. One of our members sent me a video like where they literally had an animation of like where your characters were like stalking Drew. It was pretty fascinating to see like this person put this whole thing together. It's kind of cool.
Look how beautiful these two people are. They're so young and happy, and they're still
heartthrobs.
Beautiful, but should we take questions from the audience?
Yeah, who should we pull up? Do you see like at the bottom where you see the raised hand? There's a big icon.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Do you not have that option? Do you want me to just pull?
No, I do. But before we do anything, let's pull up a vamp, because I feel like the vamp should be celebrated for coming out and supporting. That's how we went from 38 people to wherever we are now.
Yeah, let's see.
Sort of the NFT community.
Any vamps want to raise their hands?
Oh, no vamps in there? Oh, then just pick someone else.
All right, what order? Can you see? You can't see the list. Do you want to pick someone?
No, God, you pick. I'm blind and old.
All right. I'll go in order then. Amber is on top, so let's bring up Amber. All right, I'm inviting Amber to speak. Amber, come on up.
Oh my gosh.
San Dimas High School football rules.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hello.
God. My voice settings, just trying to make it so that it comes out my speaker.
Yeah, we can hear you. Where are you at?
I'm in England.
Scotland.
Oh, you were close, but you were wrong. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome to Movie Night.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here. I'm trying to sort out the sound so it comes out like my speaker, but it's coming out my phone speaker. Oh well.
That's all right.
All good. Yeah, we can hear you crystal clear. Can you hear us?
That's cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you have a question?
Does it have to be Scream related, or can it be any question?
That's probably best if it's could be anything.
Yeah, if you want to keep it Scream, it's up to you, Matt.
I do, yeah, because I don't want to. Because then we'll just end up talking about things that.
Okay,
we'll keep it.
Unless it's NFT, I guess it would be Midnite Movie Club or Scream is probably best. But if you have an absolute question, burning question you have to ask, go for it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry. I have to. Can it be two, or does it have to be one?
Well, just to see how you do the first one, and then we'll go to the second one.
All right. Would you like to see a Scooby-Doo crossover with Scream, like a cartoon?
No. Only because I think that I have kids. I'm a dad. I have 3 kids, and I just don't think kids need any quicker introduction into horror, because it's such an impactful thing, especially now with the genre. Having just seen 5, it's super violent, and I just don't think kids need to jump into it that fast. But that's me. That's my fatherly take.
You got a point, Matthew, I guess. I didn't really think of that. I was got to think of a question then. That's just the first thing that came into my head.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Cool.
What's your second question?
Well, I have autism and I'm a big fan of voice acting. I was wondering, following on from our conversation, what's it like to work with Frank Welker?
Frank Welker. Frank Welker's a legend. So Frank Welker is the original Fred in Scooby-Doo from 1970. And for the last 20 some odd years, he's been playing Scooby-Doo and Fred. And he's done everything from Papa Smurf, and I mean he's a literal legend in the voiceover world. But he's great, like because I play Shaggy, obviously he plays Scooby, and so together we are we're inseparable and we work together all the time. And he's the great thing about Frank is that Henry Winkler.
Yeah, Winkler.
He's the best. But the best thing about working with him is that anything you say, he can answer as Scooby, and he's just a gem of a human being. So, but thank you for asking. Look at David.
So young. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Amber.
Have a good
Amber coming
night,
up.
Bill.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, come on.
Winkler, tell me about working with Winkler.
Come on. Well, he's like the most generous human being in the world. He's such. I mean, I'm sure there's people in the chat that don't know who he is. He played Arthur Fonzarelli on Happy Days.
Happy Days, yeah.
Which, you know, if you're a kid of the '80s, he was the coolest of the cool.
Yeah, they might also know him from Arrested Development too. This is the audition scene.
This is the audition scene, and this is the first day I shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So who did you know and who did you not know already on set?
Nobody, not a single person.
Oh, wow.
So sitting in on that scene, like literally, we all met. I mean, I don't know why my head moves so much. This is gonna be a horrible experience for me. But Nev and Rose had worked, but none of us had worked. Oh God. Yeah, for like 2 seconds. I don't know what I'm doing. My voice all through the 90s. Yeah, I was. What an idiot. By the way, it's Jamie Kennedy's first movie. Jamie Kennedy was like doing stand up at an acting school in LA. And he was doing stand up in the halls and passing a hat. And that's how he was surviving.
Oh, wow.
So right before the movie. What am I doing? I think we should play a drinking game. Every time I stick my tongue out, we should drink. Never. It was a joke. That's so funny.
Great. Do you guys do a lot of improv, or is it all just strictly sticking to the script?
That was the great thing about Kevin and Wes. Wes never wanted the same take twice. He was about cool. Yeah. I mean, he wanted options, right? And
yeah.
So you would do it, and then he would let you have a run at it. By the way, you can now rent this house. Does everyone know that? Like now, people are renting the Scream House and having an Airbnb experience in the Scream House.
Oh, that's awesome.
I guess it's Stu's house, not this one. This is Sid's house, but Stu's house. You can have like an Airbnb experience. At some point, David was doing like an event at that house. It was, yeah. Look at that.
That's right. Yeah, that's gorgeous. I remember hearing when that went on the market like a couple of years ago. The Stu house. So someone must have got wise and snatched it up to do the Airbnb.
Well, now if you just buy it, you can rent it in movies. It's like every Scream that comes through. Should we take another question?
Yeah.
Who's next? Should we go?
Who should I bring up?
I don't know. Let's go.
There's so many people.
Let's go. Curious George.
You can bring him up too. Click that little microphone because I don't see him. Oh, there he is. I see him.
I got it. I'm on it.
You got him? You got it? Cool.
Hi, Curious George. Can you hear us?
What up, George?
Hey, this is surreal.
I know, it's really weird. I'm in my living room sitting here curled up in a ball. Where are you?
I'm from New Zealand.
Sweet
nice.
man.
Wait, were we talking earlier? You said you were shooting something with the kit car. Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. He's shooting some stuff with the original Knight Rider car. Well, not the
Oh,
original,
no
but like a
shit.
recreation of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a fellow filmmaker.
Nice. Where in New Zealand are you?
I'm in Christchurch.
Nice.
Yeah.
We did Without a Paddle in New Zealand. So I don't.
Oh,
People
awesome.
may not know that, but Without a Paddle with Dak Shepard, Seth Green. We shot all through South Island, North Island,
Northland.
Wellington.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wellington's good.
Windy Wellington,
Yeah,
the home
it's
of
definitely
Weta.
windy.
Yo, it was the
Yeah.
most gnarly flight I've ever had in my life. Flying into Wellington, that was brutal.
Yeah, it's a long flight.
Oh, it's brutal. But I
Yeah,
love New Zealand.
I never got to go down there when I worked on Avatar. When they left LA to go shoot there, like it was above my pay grade. They didn't bring me with. I was really bummed.
Ah,
So excited to go down
damn.
there. I'm so excited to go down there.
No,
We
you should
had
totally
a
come down.
I
we'll
want to.
do.
Yeah, you guys are all
We'll
locked
come
down
down.
though, and I can't get down there.
That's
Yeah,
the
we'll come
best
down. Maybe we'll
part.
shoot a
They're
movie
like,
there.
yeah, they're like
Blumhouse is
nobody's
shooting a ton.
welcome.
Yeah, Blumhouse is shooting a ton of stuff down there. Maybe we'll come shoot down there.
Yeah, man, I'll have to hit you up.
Yeah, definitely.
So what question do you have, bro?
So like, I am making movies, and my aim is to be a film director. And I wanted to ask, like, how did Wes direct you, or like um, how what is it? Okay, how do I word this? How
No,
how
sorry.
does a
I
director?
can totally
How
help you
should a
out. I
director
mean,
like? How do you like a director to you know, direct
yeah,
the actors and like
it's a
the
great
sort of
question.
process?
Yeah, and I think that is I think that there are a lot of people coming through. In my experience, there's a lot of people coming through that are good directors, or they're directing films that don't have the ability to communicate to actors. Right? The idea.
Hmm.
Sorry, I get carried away. I'm not very good at doing two things at once. But the
Oh,
idea of
me
like,
neither.
look, I'm literally closing my other ear and looking away from the screen. So the idea is like a lot of people are scared to talk to actors. A lot of people are like don't have the capacity to articulate what they want coming out of an actor. Right? As an actor, my job is to bring in exactly what I think it is that the scene needs. And then your job is to aim me towards the target you want to hit. And great directors allow an actor to bring what they bring, and instead of like trying to pigeonhole them into their singular vision, they allow them to play, right? You allow people to sort of find their own way.
Yeah,
And I think that's
my analogy
yeah.
I like to use as a director is like the way I look at it is like it's kind of like a bowling alley, right? Like we're all trying to knock the pins down, and the actor is the ball, and they're gonna go all over the place. But I'm like the bumpers, and you put up for a kid's birthday party. I'm gonna try to just keep you in the lane and keep you on track, but you're gonna work your magic and kind of do your thing on the journey from one end of the lane to the other. I feel
Right.
like that's
And a bad director is the one that's like you have to hit this bumper first, and then you immediately have to hit that bumper, and then you have to hit this bumper, and then you have to hit a strike every single time. And and that's where I think directors fall apart is like they don't know how to get it. They're scared to talk to actors, and they don't know how to get performance and allow the actor to feel emboldened and confident, because in that confidence is when you get the best performance, right? It's only in strength that people are able to make brilliant choices. It's only in confidence are people able to be their best.
Absolutely. You got to remember, everyone I feel like on a movie set is always insecure, so it's like just creating an environment where everyone can feel comfortable to do their job. And when you're hiring someone, the reason you're picking them is because you trust like their skills. So that you shouldn't be like, giving line readings or even telling like the DP like it's got to be this shot. It's like you want to listen to people because people want to do their job and do it and be creative. So,
yeah, I mean,
not being that auteur kind of like, dictator on set. You want to be collaborative. It's a collaborative medium.
Yeah, so more like just like discussing openly about a scene and each person's viewpoint about how they would take the scene in a direction and working towards that goal rather than you do this, you do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a yes and moment. There's a thing in oh god. Oh God.
Well, I also think that like you wanna pay attention to how your actors are, and even have a conversation with them about like their style, because everybody's different. You can't have one method for every actor. So like for instance, if let's say we're shooting this movie, and I know, oh, like it really takes Lillard a while to get into finding the character. So, but Skeet's great on this first couple takes. Well, I'm gonna shoot Skeet's close-ups first, and then when we turn around to Matt's already been practicing his lines in those first takes. So now he's warmed up and ready to go. So like you as a director have to pay attention to those things and know, okay, this actor like is really good at the beginning. This person takes a while to ramp up, and kind of like use that to plan your shoot schedule too. Because you're kind of juggling a lot of balls at once. You've got to kind of pay attention to everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we love the fact that Ghostface is kind of a klutz?
Oh, it's amazing. It's the funniest thing ever.
I think it's kind of it's kind of like, I think that one of the great things about the movie is that you're able to laugh and sort of like, it has charm, right? It's not just all violent.
Well, and slashers back in the day, like this Ghostface falls down as much as like the people he's chasing. The trope of like the person tripping, like, well, he's sliding all over the place. You never saw that with like Freddy or Jason and all them. They were all just like this shark that just kept moving forward. Kind of nice to see that you could tell that it's a human under there.
So that must be me. I thought I was incredible in that scene.
So you're the klutz. Whenever he's falling around, it's probably
that would make sense. That would make sense. Skeet's so beautiful, he's never klutzy. You can't be beautiful and klutzy.
Oh, look at those phones back in the day.
And she's looking at it as if like, oh my God, you have a phone. I can't believe you have a phone.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to make this movie today.
No.
And again, like kids today don't realize, like when we had to text, like I don't know if they know T9, but you had to press like the button 3 times to get a letter. You have to go like ABC, like you have to press the 2. Remember that? Like you have to like type out every letter. Brutal.
All right, George. Hey. Oh my God, Dewey.
He looks so young. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
bro. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming up.
Keep
George.
making movies, man.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you in New Zealand soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, take care.
Sweet ass, brother. Cheers, man.
All right.
So David Arquette in this movie.
Okay.
David Arquette in this movie would get like per diem, which is the money they give you to live on set. And like he would go down to like thrift stores and like just buy crazy things.
What's the craziest thing he bought?
Like, no, not me, David Arquette would go.
What's the craziest thing he bought?
Like he would buy like clowns, and like I remember he bought like this huge, like the size of his table in his like suite. He bought like a huge ship. I'm like, dude, why? What are you gonna do with the ship? He's like, I just thought it was cool. Because what happens is like, look, the entire movie's at night. So when shooting at night, when you're done working and you're 23, 24 years old, you're like, I want to go to a bar. So we would all get like, we would go to work at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, go through makeup. When it gets dark, we'd start shooting. We did that for like half of the movie. But when you're getting done, when you're doing 6 o'clock in the morning, you're getting off, and it's like getting off at 6 o'clock at night. We would all go over to David's like hotel room and drink and hang out. So one of the things about this experience that makes it different than sort of everything else was that because we were all so young, because none of us, there were no phones, there was no tablets, like we were all in Sonoma and we were all young and on the same schedule. And so we hung out all the time. The entire cast hung out the entire time. And I think that that's what makes this movie really special for all of us, because we were so young and then had such a huge success. Those two things like bonded the cast really closely. And obviously, David and Courtney got married, and it was just kind of this incredible experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's why you guys all probably felt like such close friends, is because you just were sequestered in a small town hanging out.
Yeah. Drinking at 6 a.m. We'd come home like from work covered in blood, and you see all these people who were going out to like these wine tours, and there we are stumbling in, like doused in blood, and like, oh my Lord.
Okay, I see OG in the chat. Let's bring him up. Let's bring a vamp up here. Get some vamp talking. OG, you're coming up.
Hilarious line. Funniest line of the movie.
Wait, what did you say?
What are you doing with a cellular telephone?
That line aged like a fine wine. Oh, gee, where are you at? Maybe he's not by his computer. Could be a bathroom break. Let's see. Who else should we pull up while we're waiting? Oh my god, I did not expect this list to be so big. I thought it was going to be like 2 people.
Evil Shaggy. Who's evil? How could you be evil Shaggy?
Bizarre, like the Bizarro world. Bring someone up. Click someone. Your choice.
All right, I'm gonna click. Why? What happened? Why are they darkened out? Do you know? What does that mean? Or are they they're new to Discord? Oh, that's what that
Their
is.
name is just just what role they have. They're just different colors.
Okay, let's go. I can't read it. Sav June.
Bring them
Sav
up.
June. There's Sav June. Hi, Sav June.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, hold on, I have to turn up my volume. Hi.
Turn
Hi,
it
how
up.
are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Supersonic.
I'm sitting here with my 2 friends.
That's
so I'm
super
Savannah.
fun. Hi, Savannah.
That's
Where are
Savannah.
you guys?
And then my friend Kylie sitting here next to me. She's like one of the biggest Scream fans ever. And then my friend Emma.
G. Oh my G. Where are you guys?
We're from Ohio.
Nice. How weird is that? Ohio talking to LA. That's very crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are you guys gonna go see Scream 5?
Yes, we're seeing it tomorrow.
Oh my god, that's so
Awesome.
fun.
It's so
Do you guys
cool.
have a question?
I can't wait.
What's the
So
collective
excited.
question? There's 3 of you. Who's gonna ask the question?
Kylie, you have to take it over.
Kylie,
Let's
do
do it,
not
Kylie.
fuck this up. Kylie, do not fuck
This
it
is
up.
your moment. This is your moment.
Kylie, don't fuck it up. What is your
so-
question? It better be good, Kylie.
It's gonna be good, I promise. My question is, what's your favorite scary movie?
Scream. Next question. Terrible. Terrible
Okay.
question, Kylie. Scream. What else would it be? No. Yeah, that's not true, actually. I think the Exorcist was the scariest movie I ever saw.
I think that's the scariest, definitely.
That's the scariest movie I ever saw. As a kid,
No,
like
I'm a huge Jaws fan though too. Love the
Jaws is
and-
like one of my top 5
Shining.
movies. You say Jaws?
Yeah,
I love Jaws.
Jaws is incredible. Kylie, what's your favorite scary movie?
Definitely Scream.
That's the only answer there is to have. Can't have
Well, it
another
was the
answer.
movie that got me into watching horror movies in the first place, so.
It's so funny.
that's
I
very
do
important.
think, yeah, I do think there's a whole like. I was talking to somebody. I went to a screening with the cast the other night, and I was like, why is it so popular? Right? Like, why is Scream 5? It's the 5th movie in a series. Bam! Knock that shit out
Bam,
of it.
bitch goes down.
Take a seat, bitch. But why is it so popular? Like, why after 5 movies is it so popular? I have no idea. And somebody said it's because so many kids grew up with it. Like, that's their first introduction to it. Like, generation after generation, people are like, you want to see a scary movie? Here's where you start. And that people are still in love with the franchise because of that reason.
And I bet too that like the fact that it references so many horror movies then gets them to be like, well, now I want to see that movie and that movie. You know, kind of like 'cause
Yeah.
it's so referential. Yeah, it's kind of this like it's kind of the gateway drug of scary movies.
Kylie?
Yes, I would agree with that. Scream was like one of my first scary movies, and then I went and watched Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. And then
Nice.
coming back to Scream, it was so interesting to see all of the references, and like Jamie Kennedy goes over like the rules for horror
Sure.
movies and like surviving. And I think that's super interesting
Nice.
that I was included.
Mm-hmm.
Kylie, who are you going to prom with?
Prom?
Prom. Who are you going to prom with?
I'm in college.
Oh god damn it. I took a shot, Kylie. I took my shot. What college you go to?
I go to Ohio University.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're all.
All right, well,
You guys
Cool.
have an awesome night. Thank you for watching. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Thank you so
How-
much
how
did
for
you-
having
so
us.
much.
This is so cool.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
you guys are awesome. Oh, look at Dewey. He's so,
So
sweet. Look at
cool.
his sweet little face. Look at. He's so funny.
I'm gonna bring up. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring up OG because he popped in for a second, and then
Okay, yeah.
gentleman and stepped aside. So I'm gonna call you back up, OG. Maybe he stepped away again.
OG's like, you know what?
OG
Fuck these
OG
dudes.
vamp.
He's like, I don't need it.
There you go. I thought I invited him up.
Oh, who's? Oh, Liev Shriver. So they never really planned on doing a bunch of sequels. I don't think they did. Maybe somebody knew, but they never talked about it on the set, obviously. So much
Yeah.
to the point where, in the original version, Dewey dies.
Oh yeah, I think I
So in
remember
the
hearing about
original
that.
version of the movie, Dewey dies, and I think they did one take. I think it was Wes who was like, "Hey, we should have him give a thumbs up on the way out because he's gonna test through the roof. Like people are gonna love Dewey."
That's the smart move. It's good to have options in the editing rooms, All right, let's bring someone else up. I'm gonna bring up Cosmic Acid.
Nice. That sounds
It
dangerous.
sounds
They could be tripping balls. There's not enough Matthew Lillard in this movie. I'll tell you that. Am I even in this film? What's up, Cosmic Acid?
Well, not much. I'm just really excited to be here. I'm just putting on my shoes, going outside really quick.
Oh, cool.
Well,
Wait, what are you doing?
Sorry, I just had to go outside really quick
He's
because I was
stepping
around a lot of
outside.
people.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, right on. Oh, good.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're good,
Dude,
we're
we're
good.
good.
Just
We're like
enjoying the
trying to
movie.
launch. We're trying to launch a independent film studio, and we're watching a movie. It cannot be that bad.
We're trying to change the way movies are made. No big deal.
No big deal.
Probably nothing.
Well, I just heard about that today because I seen it on Matthew's Instagram. So I was like, well, what is this?
Right on. Well, good.
So
Well, dude, thank you for seeing it and then coming and checking it out, and now here you are asking a question. How nice.
Yeah. I have one serious question, like one silly question. Is that okay?
How high are you, Cosmic Acid? What's your real name? Joe.
Zach.
Zach?
It's Zach, yeah.
All right, Zach. All right. You sound really high, bro.
No, I'm not.
Okay, fine.
Trust me, I'm not.
Okay. I trust you, giggle face. All right. What's your question?
So my first question is, so is getting to film more of like a trial and error type thing? And if so, how do you just keep at it and like not get discouraged?
Great question.
Yeah.
That's everything, right? My superpower isn't the fact that I'm the best actor in the world. My superpower is that I've gotten turned down a gazillion times, and then get back up and give it my all every single time as an actor. So, like through ebbs and flows, through the good times and bad times, like I can continue to believe. There are actors out there that are way more talented than me. There are actors out there that are funnier, better, whatever, and I feel like I keep going because I'm too old at this point to be a waiter again, and I just have an ability to walk into a room, do what I do what I think makes me special, which is me, right? You can only be you. So my superpower is like sort of going in, doing my take on what the character needs and what I think the character is, and then whether I get it or not, maintaining like a even keel. That's me again. Cosmic, quiet. We're watching me, Zach. That's not funny, guys.
Was that skeet scene where he was in the costume?
It must no. I think that was.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but no. The idea. That's my thing. Like, you just have to persevere. By the way, my CD is glitching.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
That would ruin everything.
Oh yeah, it would. Well, that's what I was thinking for a while too, and that's actually just like really reassuring to think that because like you're not going to get on your first try,
No, dude, no.
Yeah, and the
if
hardest
you
thing is starting.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is starting. Like you just got to keep at it because it's like you're just going to keep getting better. Whether it's filmmaking or acting, it's like you're constantly learning and honing your craft. So like if you're, no one's going to be perfect when they start. It's just doesn't happen.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have a little bit of a problem, Bill.
What your DVD player?
Yeah,
What's
I
it
now have
doing?
Nev Campbell frozen on my screen. Oh, now
Uh-oh.
it's like kind of skipping forward.
Maybe it's catching up.
Oh, it is catching up.
Okay, cool. It's smarter than my DVD player then.
Oh my
All right,
god!
thanks,
What was
Comic
your
Cast. We're gonna.
Yeah. You had a silly question too. What was
Oh
it?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember like I used to be like caught up on all the Scooby Doo films,
Uh-huh.
but I've noticed there's such like a slew of them that you have to at least have like a least favorite one that you just like don't like. So like,
Yeah,
what's your
I don't
least
really.
favorite Scooby Doo
Yeah,
film?
I don't really watch them. I do them like it's my job. Like I'll go and do them, and I don't watch them. So I don't have a favorite or not favorite.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, I go in, I do the voice, and I hang out with the people that do the voices. And then since my kids have grown up, we don't watch them.
Well, that's interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you again.
Cool,
Hi,
thanks
brother.
for coming up.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. It was great meeting you.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Nice to meet you
Go
too.
back in and do what you're doing. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the movie.
I'm
Cool.
a little worried here.
I'm gonna.
My film is like really jacked.
Is it still doing it?
It's like fully pixelated and not
Oh
moving.
no.
Yeah.
Wait, is it not? You're not seeing Henry Winkler threatening kids with a.
I'm not seeing anything. Oh, it just picked up. Oh my god, but stopped.
Oh,
Okay.
you're missing the great Winkler scene too. This is like his money scene. Did it catch up?
No.
Oh, what are we gonna do? Do you want me to just like tell you what's happening?
No, I can hear it, which is good.
Okay, that's good. Well, we'll take questions then, and then people will kind of inform you and
Okay, good.
describe it to you. I'm
But
gonna
then
bring up
how-
OG.
But there's
Third time's a charm.
Okay. IOG made it.
You made it. Welcome.
He's on.
Yeah, what's up, fellas?
What's up,
How
brother?
you doing?
Yes. So awesome, dude. Great to talk to you
Got
guys.
a ramp up here finally. Nice.
Yeah, well, you were saying how you're a father of 3. I'm a father of 4. And
Nice.
I had my hand up, but then I had to lay the kids down. And I forgot to take my hand off.
I understand.
All good.
That I understand.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
long have you been a vamp?
Since the start. Yeah, right at the beginning there.
How'd you get in? How did you get
after
into
about
the
four-
vamp world?
4 months. I found out about the project on social media. Our artist was one of the artists on Bored Apes Yacht Club, and I just kind of came across it was actually a TikTok video by a pretty big influencer on there, and he was talking about the project, and I was like, oh, let me check this out. So I went in there, and I just liked what I saw, and the price was still good. And I honestly wasn't. I've always been real big into crypto, and I wasn't really huge into NFTs yet. But I'd wanted to, I was looking for the right project to get into. And so when the opportunity came up, I jumped on it, got in early. And I just been, actually, well, I started with like kind of a lower vamp. And then traded, a couple people added some more ETH. And now I have like a pretty rare vamp. Mine's ranked like
Yeah, you're in like the
243.
200s, right? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
So
dude.
that's
And are you part of other communities as well?
No, I don't even mess with no one else. I do crypto and SVS. That's it. And here,
Till now.
I'm definitely minting this.
Oh,
No
nice,
doubt
dude.
about that. Oh
Nice.
yeah, me and the vamps are kind of hard at you.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
well,
that's what I like to hear.
it's so funny because I will say that we're building it based on sort of like what I see and what Bill's told me about the vamp community. I mean, that's sort of what we're trying to do and just gear it towards filmmaking.
Yeah,
Like,
all organic growth. Yeah, and I love what you guys are doing. I mean, this is what NFTs were created to do: decentralize things,
Exactly.
give the power back to the people. Take
Yes.
the big heads out of the picture. It's amazing what you're doing, actually. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
Well, thank
Thanks. We're trying. I mean, we're on day 4, but it's so far. I mean, listen, we did good today. We're at 1.4 thousand. 1,420, whatever that is. But
you gotta realize
Yeah.
you guys are going all organic here. See, a lot of these big projects, there's so many like little tricks and DMs, forced DMs and this and that and the other, where they just max, they go up to 50,000 followers in like 2 days. But
Yeah.
that's not the right way to do it anyway. You want to build that community up for a while. You know,
Yeah, we want to get to know people. We want to start chatting with everybody and really getting to know the community.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, I
nice.
just wanted to really come up and say that you got the full support of the Vamps. Like, we were very excited about the Scream collaboration. Super, it blew us away. The devs are working like crazy, overtime setting that stuff up. But when you popped in the Lair chat yesterday, Matt, I mean, everyone lost their shit, dude, for sure.
Oh, that's
And,
nice. That's
I'd say
good.
I'm
Thanks,
10
man.
times more excited about that. You know what I mean? Like, definitely, bro. Like, loved you in every movie. 13 Ghosts, Serial Mom, Scream, you name it, bro. Like, you're one of the coolest, most down-to-earth celebrities. You can just tell by the way you talk, by the way you carry yourself, that, I mean,
Oh,
you're
thanks, dude.
different,
I mean,
bro.
it's so funny. It's so nice. First of all, thank you very much for saying nice things. I appreciate that.
doubt.
And it's funny that, look, when we dropped it on Monday, I mean, Bill will say, like, I'm like, dude, maybe we're just wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we're trying to do something and we're too early. And Bill, to Bill's point, Bill was like, dude, it's our job to like teach people and help people learn.
Yeah, you're paving the way. You're paving the way. This is,
yeah.
5 years from now, this is going to be common practice.
Yeah, I really think that this is going to be the way most indie movies are made. So I really truly feel that like we're setting the example and the template of like how this is gonna happen. Like our roadmap, our white paper, all that stuff. I think is going to be, we've already been seeing a lot of like copycat projects in the space. Wolf Game comes out, and you see Whale Game, all these other like clone things, and it's going to be probably going to take longer because movie people aren't as savvy. But eventually, you're going to start seeing that stuff trickle in. We're just ahead of the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, we like to think we are, right? We have no idea. I mean,
I don't know. Who knows? We could be totally wrong.
Here's the good news. The good news is that, look, at the end of the day, we put our name on it. So a lot of people in this chat probably don't know half of the things we're talking about, but a lot of people in NFTs don't put their name on it because they just want to be anonymous.
Right.
Yeah, we've fully doxed their team. Yeah, we're gonna, and we've actually been talking. I've been
Wes
messaging
Craven. Does everyone know that's Wes Craven cleaning the floor?
Freddie. Yeah, they come on. They know that.
No, maybe not. I mean, I bet you a bunch of people don't know.
Gotta get that little Hitchcock style cameo in there.
I didn't know.
So I mean, so a lot of people don't put the name on it. So we're trying to build a community with our name on it and trying to do the right thing and do something cool. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I already talked to the devs of SVS. I told them about doing the Twitter Spaces with you guys. They were like,
awesome.
"Oh, what? Really? When can we do this? Tomorrow?"
Sweet, yeah. And get on Wolf. Tell them to email me back. We were chatting around Christmas time because we were talking about them about with latency doing the contract and auditing and stuff. So we really want the Vamps.
Wolf is top notch. I mean,
I know he's been swamped with all the blood token stuff and all the rollouts with everything. So I didn't want to bug him too much, but we want to have the Vamps involved because they just had a flawless execution.
He loves it.
All right, cool.
But dude, thank you. Where are you? Are you in Baltimore? Are you?
I'm in New Jersey. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Nice.
Well, dude,
you guys out in Cali?
Cali and Pasadena. Dude, your Vamps rad. That's pretty. That's pretty lit, dude.
I got the gold grills.
Nice. Yeah. And when did you get into crypto?
About a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Right on.
Nice.
I've had some killer days. There's been days I made 25 grand in one day. It was nuts.
Oh my god.
I'm a commercial fisherman by trade. I mean, I work on fishing boats year round up here in Jersey.
That's awesome to hear that and then you're just making 25 grand in a day with crypto. I love it.
I mean, it's so crazy. That's awesome. Dude, that's the new world.
Got all these kids and bills. They go to private school. Life is so expensive,
Yeah, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Well, hey, thanks for jumping up. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you afterwards, and we'll get the spaces going for sure.
No doubt. And we'll talk more. Great
job.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
A week from now, 2 weeks from now, you guys are gonna be huge. Watch us.
I hope so, man.
We never know how this game works, so we got you back.
You're a good man. Thanks, brother. Cheers, man.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, by the way, Bill, we should tell people about like getting on the whitelist because I guarantee you there's a lot of people that don't know about what a whitelist is. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people like new to Discord.
Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, we were giving out whitelist spots in the chat. Just
what's a whitelist spot?
The whitelist spot is basically so when you sell an NFT, there's a pre-sale, which kind of is like an advanced sale that's just for people that are on a list, and that way you can you're guaranteed a spot, and you can just kind of purchase it at your leisure. You don't have to worry about like the gas, which is the transaction fees when you're paying with stuff for crypto. So if the network is really busy, the fees are higher, but you can like wait till like
drink
later.
Stuck my tongue out.
You just stick your tongue out.
Yes.
And then, so yeah, you want to get on the wait list because then you can just kind of like purchase at your leisure. And then like if there's a public sale and there's a lot of like demand for the project, it's first come first serve. So the nice thing about getting on the pre-sale list is that you're basically reserving one if you so choose to pick it up. But if you're trying to go on the public sale, if it's a pretty big project, it could just mint out like within. I've seen ones do it like within seconds, but usually it's like within minutes or. But there's other ones that like go longer, where it could take hours or days too. So it just depends on like the popularity of the project. But I'm gonna bring up the great.
Hold on a second, watch me.
I'm
Hold
worried.
on a second, I
Okay.
want to watch me.
Wait, you must be behind because the scene I'm looking at is Rose and Nev on the porch. Are you,
No,
like, way behind?
I'm in front. I think I'm in the movie theater. I'm in the video store.
Oh, we are out of. You got maybe it's because yours was skipping around. I wonder
Well,
now I don't know
where's-
who's in sync and who's not.
What do we do? Am I in front of you or behind you? I haven't been paying attention. I'm just paying attention because it's me.
I'm at like 54 minutes 22.
Oh, I don't want to look because if I look, I'm afraid it's gonna. Tongue, drink.
Well, it
I'm
sounds
at
like you're in the
50
spot. It
I'm
sounds
at
like you're in the spot
56.
where.
Okay, I'm gonna wait
you're
for you.
ahead. You're ahead.
I'm gonna wait for you. I'm at 56:19.
Okay, now I'm at the video. Now I'm at the video store. Okay, I'm gonna bring up the great Ass because I think he has a question that was around this time.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna bring him up because he wanted to ask you something specifically. What's up, dude?
Hey, first, can you hear me?
Yeah, totally. Great ask me. You have been like a hero in the chat. You started like 2 days ago, and bro, I went to bed last night at 1 and like up at 6, and you were still in the chat. You were crushing. You're the chat king.
You can thank my insomnia for that.
God bless you.
Yeah, I just can't sleep, so I'm like, I'll just check out the chat. And then every time I go to sleep, someone pops in, and I'm like, I can't be a jerk and leave, so I have to like,
You're such a good host.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Wait, where are you, Bill? Where are you? Because I'm gonna hit play. I just don't know where to go.
I'm at the scene with you and Jamie Kennedy in the video store.
Oh, yeah, I'm at that.
Is that where you're at? Yeah, where are you at, Aspie?
I'm at the same scene where he's flicking Randy's ear.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're all about the same.
So is Skeet there already or no?
Yeah, he just came up pissed off.
Oh my god, you guys got ahead of me.
yeah. But my scene is about like an Easter egg that I think you said when it's like it's when you invited Tatum. And by the way, Matt, thank you so much for doing what you're doing. I want to thank you first and foremost.
Well, thanks, bro.
There's so many, like, I've been in the space, I haven't been in the syndicate as long as OG, but I've been in the NFT space a while. I'm bullish on land, and I've seen a lot of celebrity projects, and they just use their name, and they don't even offer the utility once they have the project. So the fact that you're just doing this, showing people, allowing people to have fun, and just to kind of like see if they like what they see, it's a really organic approach, and I concur with what OG was saying about that.
Well, thanks, dude. Well, first of all, I will say that you being in the chat has been awesome, and I really appreciate that because I do think the way and the vamps, like even Crisis yesterday came up during, we got on stage and to introduce ourselves, and like it was like, hey, anyone has a question, and this goes for the like right now to everyone in the chat and everyone watching, like if you have a question, like you ask a vamp, they will give you an answer. I mean, I feel like the community is so strong. And
very welcoming too. Very, very welcoming.
because it's also overwhelming, right? I mean, it's overwhelming. It's hard to understand. And I had Bill to walk me through, and then I started digging in a lot. Like, like I've been in crypto for a while, but I started digging into NFTs, and you just, you sort of have to turn off the noise and dig in and sort of figure it out. And I just think that the vamps have been super open and gracious with their time and teaching people about NFTs in the community.
Yeah, and what I love about it is like it's not a competition. Like everyone's trying to help each other out, like no matter what project you're on. Because like if other projects succeed, it just lifts the space up. So there's no like, oh, that project sucks or this or that, unless they're like a scam. But like by and large, it's such a like warm and like welcoming community because everyone just wants to like see this thing succeed and see people like start to adopt it early on. So I just love that about it.
Where are you guys? I have them outside of the police station.
Yeah, Dewey's eating ice cream.
Okay, I think that might be off sync because they just closed the cafe for curfew. in mine. I wonder if I have like a different version of the DVD.
It's so funny. It's so funny that we're all jacked up.
I wonder. So Bill and me were talking about this, and he's like, I wonder if this was intentional. Maybe it was just I have autism, so I like notice weird things.
Yeah.
But when you invite Sydney and Tatum to the party, you say Kizu because Skizu is Izu, and I was like, is that like some kind of like code for kill you because school is out?
Oh my God. That's
Do you
so
remember
good.
saying that?
No, yeah, I don't remember saying it. I guarantee you that was me being an idiot.
So
I
that's not in the
swear.
script. That was just you goofing around. And
Oh yeah, no, that's
like,
but so many times so that was one thing about Wes is like right what you would get it as written and Wes would want you to add stuff and play, and
I
at
heard
some
that.
point like he would let me play. Look, he would let me play all the time.
That's cool.
And so yeah, but so that was me adding the schizzos to it.
I thought so. I'm like,
That's
oh man,
awesome.
he just said it in plain sight. Nobody caught it. It's been 25 years, and I'm like, I gotta ask if that was just like, It was
That would have
pretty
been
cool
amazing. By the way, I will say it's been 25 years, so it literally could have been anything, and I wouldn't remember anyways.
Yeah, it was such a harmless line. You didn't say, you just kind of ran up, said it, and then like, so it was just a perfect placement the way you did it. It was awesome. But yeah, I heard stories about how about how Wes like loved your ability to ad lib and basically just like like you were able to ad lib so many scenes in that movie. Like I think we know that some
he
of
was
the famous
really
ones,
he was really generous to me in keeping that stuff. But that shot of the boots is like to introduce him as like the bad guy. I think the idea of him running away though, I think he runs away from that interaction with Tatum and Sid and like kind of gives the fist pump because he's trying to get them. His job in that scene is to get them to that party,
and that's why he's excited. That's what
and that's
cool
why he's
double
excited.
meaning. Yeah,
The
yeah.
whole movie, the whole movie is like, you go back and watch and you realize that
Yes.
these two are killers. Like
Yeah, you
that
can see
first
it.
scene on the fountain, and he's like, "Well, I didn't kill anyone." And like Billy's trying to calm him down.
He's actually getting pissed, but it looks like he's defending Sydney, but he's really mad
Yes,
that
exactly.
like Stu's down off.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so cool catching those things. Like it's genius writing, genius acting, and I think everybody loved their character and wanted it to succeed. I'm watching Kenny right now, and Kenny killed his character. I mean, everybody, like
Earl
in their
Brown.
scenes. Yeah, I seen him in like a lot of stuff, and he's just
he's amazing. I remember when as a kid finding out he was the same guy from There's Something About Mary blew my mind, and I was like, this guy's an incredible actor.
I saw him in Psych. Yeah, he's been in a lot of great stuff.
How are you guys
He's
on Kenny? Where did you guys see Kenny? We're so screwed.
I just saw the potato chip bag just fall on the ground. The van's pulling up to the park.
Oh, good.
Like,
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
I'm holding for a second. Oh, there. I'm holding for a second. Tell me when you hit beer bong.
Oh, yeah, I remember that part.
So I'm like pointing to the beer bong. Look, so this is the last sequence in the movie. I think it's like scene like 86 or something.
Already like almost at the end of the movie. This is crazy.
It's almost it's fast.
It was so cool though because it lasted so long for an ending scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 50 minutes, so there's plenty of time.
You got
tell me when you get to the beer bong. But this whole sequence is like you'd go and like do like a piece, and then you go home, and then you do another tiny piece.
Beer bong.
I saw it again. I'm on the van. I'm on Earl driving in. No. Tell me when she gets out.
Was that robe your choice, or did the wardrobe just give you that? Or you like you pick and like?
I think I take no credit for anything.
That was a cool robe. That was a cool ass robe. I'm like, I want that robe. Every time I see that scene, I'm like, I want that robe.
Oh my god. Anyways, bro, hey, thank you again for jumping in and saying yes and like supporting us and being so cool in the chat. We appreciate you. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, thank you. But like I said, it's awesome. Like it's just I love the balance, and it's like I could tell when things are organic, and this feels so organic, and I love it. And like I said, you've already offered more utility than 99 point. Like I think that can't be stated enough. These projects that people put a lot of money in, and then they just get like rug pulled. Whereas this is like an organic thing that you like you said, you want to put your name on something you can be proud of, and it's really awesome.
Well, I've been in a lot of those projects where I'm just like, why did I buy this? I don't even remember why I FOMO'd in.
I get kind of FOMO in.
All right, cool. Thanks. We're gonna.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you both.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you both.
Oh, it's starting to glitch again. Mine's starting to glitch again.
I'm gonna bring up Serial Mommy.
There's Serial Mommy. Something 420, right? Was before. Hey, hi.
Hey, how are you guys tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Chilling. I told you the story earlier about my daughter, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was hilarious when she realized. She was like, "Oh, that's the one with Shaggy in it." And I'm like, "I've been telling you that Matthew Lillard's going to be in the chat tonight."
There you go. There you go.
I just thought it was hilarious. It was a very
Nice.
comical conversation on the way to the store.
I'm slightly panicking because my movie stopped again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it stopped.
But you said they gave you a couple discs, right? Throw another one in. We got 50.
No, but I mean, but then everyone has stopped. I mean, I can hear it. So
Well, I can tell you where we're at if you want to fast forward. You put a different disc in.
No, God, no.
You're on the screen.
I'll be right back. Anyway, sorry. Did you Serial Mommy? Where did you come up with that name? Is that serial killer or serial mom?
Yes. My whole like through high school, the very first email address I ever had was serial killer 420.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, and I've had it since I was probably 14, 15, like early, like mid 90s. And so, yeah, like it was that. And then I grew up and I became a mom and I needed something for like business emails. And so I just kept the cereal and made it Serial Mommy.
Nice.
A lot of people think it's from your movie Serial Mom, but it's not.
Right on.
I did have a question. I just wanted to know, from your actor point of view, like what was your favorite movie to film and what was your least favorite?
Probably one of my, I mean, I'm not lying because we're watching it. But Scream is like one of my favorite movies to do.
I was going to say aside from Scream.
Yeah, because we're so young. I mean, we're young. Like I said, everything I've said before, right? We had a blast and everyone was like hanging out and like super into it. And like everyone's trying to do like great work. Like sometimes you just show up to do a job and you do a job and go home. But there's something about this movie at this time in our lives that we're all super committed. So that was great. And then Without a Paddle is one of my favorite because, you know, all those guys and I, like, you know, we were on rivers in New Zealand for like 2 months. And it was just like, you know, that time again, all of us.
My favorite movie with you in it.
Oh, but there you go. Thanks.
Every time I hear my mind's telling me no, I automatically cave scene.
There you go. Yeah, but those are probably the two favorite I've ever been a part of. And then my favorite movie, the what? Oh, no least favorite. They're all good. I mean, they're all their own special something. But and then I think my favorite movie I've ever, SLC Punk.
Yes.
There you go.
That movie, like that was the first time that I really like legitimately cried over a movie.
Oh yeah, that scene's a brutal scene.
Yes.
Come back! It's coming back. Oh god, we're in the garage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, dropping the beat. Just pulled the knife out.
I think that's the best kill in the movie.
The garage kill.
I think so. Yeah.
Outfit in this whole that whole outfit that she's wearing today is amazing.
She's fire. I just love that one. Awesome. Well, look, you're new to NFTs, so thank you for like jumping in and like you've also been here since like number 48. So
yeah,
you're on the list. I don't know if you want to join the NFT when it comes time to mint, but you're definitely on the whitelist.
I do, most definitely.
Word. Okay, good.
Awesome.
Well,
thanks for coming up.
Yeah, when we get there.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
y'all have a good
appreciate
night.
you. Yeah.
Have a good night. Hey, really quick. So you didn't? Matt, did the scene happen with where you were actually in the costume yet, or no? I just want to like call back to that.
It's when Jamie, because I can't see it, so this
Okay.
is such a drag that I mean, it's so funny. I opened this DVD and put it in so I'd be able to watch.
I love that yours is brand new and doesn't work, and mine that's like from when the first DVD came out, like of this movie, it still works. I was so nervous that mine was gonna fail.
It's my PlayStation too. I'm like, what is wrong with my PlayStation?
Yeah, mine wouldn't. This wouldn't play on the PlayStation, so I had to like dig out the DVD player.
Well, I had this like little portable DVD player that I stuck on my computer and it didn't work, so then I went to the Xbox. Anyways, long story, way too long, but yes, the scene that I'm in and Skeet's in is he put it on first, and I'm like, I want to do that. is the scene where Jamie's watching the movie by himself and Ghostface walks across the path. Yeah.
So that's you or that's Skeet?
Well, that's both of us. He did it, and then I did it right behind him.
Oh, so you did 2 different takes.
Yeah.
So you don't know who's in the movie.
No idea.
Nice.
No
All
idea.
right, who should bring up next? Call someone. That is the last. Grab someone.
It's so funny. Can you hear that? It's
It's like starting and stopping. It
it's
sounds
like well, the sound is like chirping and like keep like skipping. Anyways, yeah. Who do you want to bring up next? I will tell you. Let's go. I'm going down to the bottom. How about Eva? Sin friend? Oh no. What's the I'll ask. Is it back? No, she does not. Oh, there she is. Eva.
There he is.
Hello.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you? A Kiwi,
Oh my
another Kiwi.
Yes. Hello.
How are you?
Hold on. I need to try put this on like speaker because it's coming through my phone. All right. I think we're good. Hello. Yes, another Kiwi.
Hello.
We hear you perfect. Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
I'm super good because I haven't run out of anything to say yet, and I was worried like halfway through, I'd be like done and I'd be boring. But there's still people here. I was like, what happens if we get halfway through and everyone's gone? It's just you and me, Bill.
No.
Yeah, we're just
You were
gonna keep watching the
saying,
movie.
You were saying in chat earlier, you were like, "Oh my god, I'm glad there's people still here." Of course we're here. Like, you
Well,
know?
I was worried like people would be like, it's the thing. You have like a party, you're throwing a party, and you're like freaked out that nobody's gonna show up.
I
Yeah.
think you forget also like who you are, Matthew. Like a
Well-
lot of people love you, and you know this whole thing. Great, what you guys are doing, by the way. This little community thing is
thank you.
awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Um,
But my movie just started again. As you said that, Nev and Skeet kissing is when it started again.
Oh
So
my
there
god,
you go. There you
I
go.
love that.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
my
that's-
scene. This is my. Oh no, I thought
that's
this was right.
talking-
Although
that's
I
talking in the bedroom.
Yeah, no,
So maybe that's-
this. Oh, you're not. No, I have. Is when we're watching the movie.
they're
What
talking in the
movie is that, Bill? Do you know?
The what?
What
I'm on
movie?
a different scene. They're still in the bedroom on my TV.
Yeah.
Oh, they. They are.
Yeah, I think
they're
you're ahead.
about
But I'm
to-
pretty sure if memory serves me correct, they're watching Halloween because I think they have the scene with Jamie
The
Lee in the
Jamie-
closet at
yeah.
some point.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I hit pause. So
They're about
because I was
to-
ahead.
do the diddly.
Okay. So we'll tell you when we
Yeah.
get to that scene.
So yeah, so to me, this is like when I give the, which I think is like the most famous line in the movie. I don't know, maybe not.
But yeah.
I mean,
I'll be right
honestly,
back.
all of
Yeah.
the lines are pretty famous.
No,
Okay,
that's not true. Eva, what's
I
your
do
question?
Yeah, I have 2 questions. They're going to be
Have
quick.
at
don't
it.
worry.
No, you can take as much time as you want. I talked all night.
Oh my god, don't tell me that. I will never shut up. I won't shut up. I have a question about the Discord first. When was this server created? Like, is it recent?
I kind of well, yeah. I mean, we opened it on Monday. I was like working
Right,
on building it and trying to make sure it was secure and stuff before that. So, but yeah, we just literally opened it up on Monday.
Bill, tell me when we go to the party when they're watching the movie.
Okay. Oh,
They
well, they're
haven't
still
got-
having
they
their
haven't
moment in the
undressed
bedroom.
yet. They haven't
Okay.
undressed yet. And then my second question was it's about Scream. So
Yeah.
directed it at you, Matthew. What kind of things did you guys go through as actors to kind of give it more of a real kind of like fear and feel to it? Because I mean, like obviously you're acting and you're like, no, this is like I'm not really being killed. I'm not really being terrorized. But like, was there anything specifically that you did personally, or that was kind of around the set,
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah.
Or what
Great.
Wes did?
It's a great question. So the 3 of us, so Nev, Skeet, and I spent a day, like a week. The 5 of us spent week covered in blood through the whole stabbing and end sequence. So during that, like we're working at like really high energy levels. So instead of like in between takes and setups, instead of like coming down and like hanging out and talking and bullshitting and like being young kids, we like literally would find corners and stay in that headspace. So
Yeah.
it's to try to continue the energy all the way through the shooting, is what we were trying to do. And
Yeah.
are you guys still in the makeout scene?
Oh no.
no,
Oh,
Jamie's
you
doing the
guys.
rules.
He's doing the rules. I didn't want to interrupt you. You were having such a good moment.
No,
Sorry.
you guys.
They're throwing popcorn at us.
He's doing the rules. You just poked your tongue out again.
Oh,
You're sitting
yeah,
on
you
the back
stuck
of the
your tongue
couch.
out again.
Drink. See, now I'm at
that's
Jamie
great.
Lee. I don't know how to move forward. Like, how do you move forward on your
Wait,
Xbox controller?
Wait, we're not at Jamie Lee yet. We're where you're about to like walk out of the room and say, "I'll be right back."
Okay,
I
you're
know.
walking out of the room. You're about to do your famous line.
Yeah, but
Ready?
now I got Jamie doing lines. I'm
I'll be
behind you
right
now.
back. Woo! Okay, you're
How
good.
do I skip forward?
Maybe
On the
use
PlayStation, it always gets me. I
maybe
think it's the
use
top bumpers, but be careful you
the
don't hit a chapter button.
I know. Let's drink. Somebody in the chat will know how to move forward, like scoot
Okay.
forward.
Kenny and I was about to say
Yeah,
Gail.
he's eating this
The Cheeto.
Yeah,
and then we got Dewey.
Now I'm behind you. This is me. I'll be right back.
You're a little
Yeah.
bit behind. Just a little bit.
You're only trailing a little bit. You're good.
I think my mouth is so big. Look how big my mouth is. That's horrible. Yeah, that Eva, does that answer your question?
It does. No, it does.
Awesome.
I definitely think it with you guys being all together and your energy would just bounce off one another too. So and I mean being in blood all the time, I think that would get kind of intense in a way too. Even though it's acting, but like to always see yourself covered in blood, you'd be like, whoa.
It was intense. But at the end of the day, it's I don't know. I mean, look, the end sequence when you watch it. Go. Anyways, Eva, thank you for asking your questions. We appreciate you.
Can I say one more thing?
100%. 100%.
I'm gonna geek out a little bit, but honestly, they're having sex now. That just flashed on screen as I was trying to be.
I'm behind you. I'm so scared. I'm so sad. I'm behind you now.
Oh no! I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, do you want to see the sex scene? I mean, like,
No.
switch.
I just want us all on the same page.
Now Halloween boob scene is intercutting with Neve getting undressed.
Are you
anyway?
Bill?
What I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. God! It just went forward. I literally just like screwed up and it started going 2 times faster. Sorry, Eva. I'm gonna catch up to you guys.
Okay, Jamie's picking up the phone right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Easter egg, the shot that's on the TV where she sees Michael Myers, the Michael Myers in that shot is actually the producer of Halloween. I'm Deborah. I'm blanking on her name right now. People in the chat are probably hating me, but she's the one in Deborah Hill. No, maybe. But she's the one that was playing Michael Myers in that scene.
So I am now when Skeet is on the ground after the postcoital. Did I go?
I think you're ahead of us now. Jamie's on the couch by himself now, and they're zooming in on that little hidden camera. Dude, that camera is so not hidden compared to tech these days.
Okay. Hey, so I am now pausing at 1:20:23 with the close-up of Skeet's face after they've had sex. So
okay,
you
I'm watching the timer. 1:20:23. Okay.
Whatever happens,
you're like 3 minutes ahead.
Okay, good. So Eva, what's your geek question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not a question, more like a statement. I just want to say that I watched Scream when I was like 12. I'm 22 now, and it was like what the other person said. It's like the gateway movie into everything, and like. So that goes for like you too, like you and everyone in Scream literally introduced me to horror, and like I absolutely love the genre, love movies in general, and I guess I just want to like thank you for giving me that. Like,
you're welcome.
Honestly, I wouldn't be the person like I am today, my personality, if I didn't have a love for horror movies, and like God bless Wes Craven, oh my God, just his work. Not even on screen, but everything else. Oh, I'm getting emotional. But like, he is like one of the reasons why I want to do directing, and like I have such a profound love for film. So like, thank you. This is like absolutely incredible.
You're a very dear. It's a very dear thing to say, and I appreciate you taking that time to say it. I love
Of
Wes
course.
Craven, and you just giving pause and and getting emotional talking about him means the world to me. So thank you for that. It was very sweet.
That's the kind of community we want. We want more people.
That's
like
exactly what we want. Please, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the last thing I want this to be is like a Matthew Lillard place. I want this to be a filmmaking place that I'm part of leading and helping like grow community and helping people make movies. I think that one of the things that I bring, which is great, is that I can introduce this community and our filmmakers and I can provide things for night school. Like I have access after being in this industry for 30 years that will help grow this community in a real way. So I just don't want it to be a Matthew Lillard fest.
On the floor.
Okay. Is it a close up? Is it the close up?
No, it's not the close up yet.
He's right behind. Okay.
I'm at 118. You said it was 120 something?
Sorry, I had to jump in. I had to be like, he's on the
No,
floor.
please do. Wait, right now, Ghostface is right behind Scream. Or behind Skeet.
She's
okay, you said
she's about to be like, who did you call? He's like, what?
Okay. He's so beautiful.
He's putting his socks on.
Okay, good. When Ghostface comes behind him, let me know and I'm hitting start.
Okay. So.
Oh, when Ghostface is behind.
Yeah, right behind Skeet, which is obviously me. Spoiler alert, that's me. That's Stu.
Confirmed.
I love knowing that now. Like,
Eva,
I'm gonna watch it and be like, hey, I know that's Matthew behind.
That's me.
Almost. But anyway, in relation to what you were saying in this community, it is definitely like a filmmaking community, and I'm so like happy.
We're trying. You're
doing like you guys, both of you, but essentially you, Matthew, are doing what you can for and not being selfish about it. You know what I mean? Like not being like, hey, I'm this big actor, like I've been in this iconic movie, blah blah blah. It's about the community, the people, and
sorry, he's getting up. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Eva, thank you for jumping in. We appreciate you. Thank you for your questions.
I didn't want to interrupt it. I was like,
No, you're okay. I literally haven't stopped talking, but no.
Press play.
Go. Oh, you got stabbed! Oh
no! Perfect.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Eva, I didn't want to interrupt.
Pigs bug. Eva, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you more in the chat.
Poor Skeet! Poor Skeet! Run up! So tall. Look how tall I am. Hit him!
The house is massive, by the way. Insane.
Yeah, it's so funny. I don't remember it at all. I don't think I ever went upstairs. Oh! That's
you never
me.
went upstairs there? That's hilarious.
I don't think so. I don't know why I would have been up there. I don't remember any of it. Maybe I'm sure I did.
All right, let's bring someone else up. I want to bring up Wham Bam Steely Van.
You're going to ruin the end of the movie. You're ruining everything.
How much time have we got? Is the movie...
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But it's going to be hard to focus because I like me. Go ahead. Bring up somebody else.
I'm going to bring her up.
She's the best hero.
Oh, yeah. Dude, and this fall is great. This stunt person. Watch her take...
Oh!
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Oh! Right on the boat.
Perfect landing. Hello. How are you
She's just a teenage girl.
I know.
Let her live.
She's a beast.
Limp. Which, by the way, you didn't break your back. Don't limp. Oh no, Tatum's. Oh, disgusting. Best kill in the movie.
Effects, by the way, what was the team that did the effects? Like,
I think it was Howard. This is the scene I walk behind.
Oh,
this is me. Is it me or Skeet? You tell me what you think.
50-50 shot.
I think that's me, dude.
You know what? Someone needs to screen capture this, and then when you walk out to get a beer, we'll see where your height is in the doorway. That's the telltale.
My,
you guys are not
such a nerd.
That's why I'm here.
So,
Someone's gonna do that. We're gonna see that in the chat tomorrow. Someone's gonna do that.
Wham Bam, I'm sorry. Oh!
It's all good. Take your time.
He's so lucky he made the second movie. I did not make the second movie. Hi, Wham Bam. What's your
Hello.
real name? Or you don't have to tell us your real name.
It's Ashley, not
Hi.
anything cool.
Hi, Ash. Oh, speak for yourself. I think Ashley's an amazing name.
Well, thank you.
That's my sister's name, actually.
Very well. I bet she doesn't spell it the way I do, though. I'm kind of odd.
Oh, is it
I
with
like
two
it.
E's?
With an X?
No, it's Leich instead of Ley.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I do know another Ashley like that, though.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your
Oh,
question?
no.
Chat
Earl,
with us.
there's a delay.
So yes,
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I read somewhere a while ago that the scene where you get nailed in the back of the head with the phone, that was an accident. Now, I was wondering, the line that you say, my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me, was
Yeah.
that something that you improvised or was that in the script?
It is, yeah. It's good to talk about now because it's coming up. So look,
Yeah.
we are rated R movie. I guess I don't know if this is rated R. Bill, are we rated? Is this rated? It must be rated R.
I'm pretty. Yeah. You said you're almost rated X or NC-17.
NC-17.
Right?
But
Yeah,
the
so they
thing
bumped
is,
it down to an
you're
R.
only allowed to. By the way, you can see the sun coming up on the horizon. That was like
Really?
just as like, see how dark it is on the right, and you see how there's blue on the left because we were fighting the sun every morning. So
Oh, wow.
they would save like running scenes for the end of the night because you just need to run into the dark, and they got the work they needed to get, and then they would get the running scenes. Anyways, what was I saying? I was saying
the phone getting hit in the head, and then
so you're only allowed one F-bomb in the movie. Or I think maybe it's two F-bombs, and like one of them was like, or three F-bombs. I don't know what it was.
Well,
but
that's for
basically,
PG, right? Isn't it? Or can you do more than R? I thought you could do more.
Oh no, I stopped it. No, don't stop. Oh no.
No.
Oh no. Hold on a sec. I got way ahead.
My PlayStation controller does the same thing. I hate it.
Oh, it didn't do anything, and then all of a sudden, oh no. Ashley, Leigh. Oh no. Now I'm watching Scooby Doo.
What?
I'm kidding.
Do you have like a 5-disc changer in there or what?
Oh no, now she's
We're on Gale screaming, looking for Kenny.
Okay. Oh, this is where she's hitting him in the face.
No,
okay,
she's standing in the blood right now.
I'm at 126.11, but it'll be good.
Pause, because we're at 125, like 45.
Okay, tell me when to start, because it just did it again.
Don't touch the bumpers. That's what
I tried not to. I'm very old. Oh, you son
26. Okay,
where are you?
In the face. 126.
Oh, I can. That's the best way to get there. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Ashley, your question's great. I want to answer it, but I'm old and I keep fucking it up.
I'm old too. I have no memories.
Okay, where are you guys?
Kenny just appeared on the windshield. 126, about 126.30. Go to.
And there's the F-bomb. Get off my fucking windshield.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, and then she's swerving. She's gonna crash the van.
Okay, I'm at 127. I'm gonna put this thing down, and when you say go.
Okay, 127 on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay, you got 10 seconds. Okay, 5.
Is it Nev?
4, 3, 2, 1. Nev's running towards Dewey.
Yeah, I put it down.
All right, don't touch
she's screaming Dewey, right? Dewey.
Yeah, exactly. Back to the question now.
I'm so sorry for everyone in the chat. So, oh, Dewey's dead.
He's not dead.
Only he was dead. This is him dying, and they kept him. They let him survive. So, oh, what a dick. Oh,
that's gotta be you still, right? Because Skeet shows up later with the blood. He looks.
Yeah. It must be me.
It's gotta be you.
So you only get so many F-bombs, and what happened was that you fucking hit me with the phone, dick, because he literally was trying to lay it on my shoulder, flipped it out of his hands, and he hit me in the head.
So you just improvised that line?
So I improvised it, and then I just kept going because it was a dead take anyways, and I picked up the phone, and I thought it would just be funny. And then I was like, my mom and dad would be so mad at me, which ends
That's
up being, a great sort of movie moment because,
Mhm.
they're, it's human. It makes this kid human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's honestly probably over the years one of my most quoted lines from the movie. Anytime my friends and I would do anything.
I would totally agree. That's definitely one of the most quotable lines.
Yeah, it's funny. This whole sequence is so good. But again, this was like 2 nights. So shooting this car sequence is like 2 nights.
Yeah, that stuff's hard when you're in tight spaces, shooting all that coverage and
Yeah,
stuff.
and she is like so good in it. Like you have hours in between takes, and like then you're running around in the free at night.
Yeah, it's
She's so
seamless,
good in
though.
the movie. Yeah. Grab the gun. Oh, this is a
Here
good
you
scene
go.
too.
Here you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
You hear his voice. My voice is thrashed.
Yeah. Got another
There's
F-bomb
nothing.
coming. Yeah. All right, sorry.
How does he know it's me? How does
he knows?
Jamie know it's me?
I don't know. Maybe he saw you take the costume off, or maybe he knows
So
it's
we don't
not
really
him.
know.
Yeah.
There he comes. God bless him. He's so beautiful. You can't kill the beautiful, Ashley. You can't kill the beautiful.
To be fair, when this movie came out, I was a young teenager, and at the time, getting a little TMI here, both you and Skeet were kind of that sexual awakening for me.
Hey! Ow! Will you call my wife and remind her for what a piece of ass I was when I was young? You know what's funny, Case? Real quick, that in this movie, like I thought I was like so good. If you ever get an autograph from Skeet, he puts that on his autographs, which is a great quote.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But in this movie, I thought I was fat. In this movie, I thought I was ugly. In this movie, I was like, oh, Skeet's so beautiful, and I'm like the ugly best friend. So it just goes to show you, like, people have their own insecurities all over the place. Surprise, Sydney.
That's another good quotable.
That's a good one, too. Now, this is where we just definitely Skeet and I started just chewing scenery.
Oh, yeah. How many days did you guys shoot this one?
Like,
just this kitchen scene?
This whole sequence is like 4 nights. I mean, we all just end up going so over the top.
Yeah. But everyone's so invested at this point. It's like, that's, what they want.
And look at this. Watch this. What am I doing? Why is he screaming?
Dude, do you realize? I mean, I know a lot of people don't remember, but like, this was such a mind-blowing ending because nobody expected there to be 2 killers. Like, no other, you know what I mean? Like, that was like such a blindside to the audience when this came out.
Yeah. By the way, this whole idea that we're gay, it was fun. I love the idea. And people are like, was it true? Were they gay? I'm like, yes, of course they were. I don't know.
There you go, confirmed.
Confirmed. Well, it wasn't confirmed the other day, but I like confirming it now post-mortem.
Yeah, after the fact.
Yeah.
So Wham Bam, any other questions? Anything else you want to add?
So another question that I have is Red Right Hand is probably, to me anyway, one of the most recognizable songs in the Scream franchise. Did you ever get the chance to meet Nick Cave?
No. I wish. But all this stuff was post. So one of the great stories is like when we were shooting very early on, they were looking at like boxes would show up on set with masks because they didn't have the Scream mask. So we were on set, and they were still looking for the killer's mask. Oh, that's not right. How is that not right?
The
Because
story
they shot
that I
the
heard,
whole opening sequence.
I
So
heard
they
that
must
the
have had
story
the
that
mask.
The story I heard was that like when they were doing a location scout, that mask was like on the kid's like bedpost at one of the locations, and someone's like, "We need a mask
No.
like that," and someone was like, "No, we need that mask." Is that not true?
I heard that story too.
No,
Okay, so
that
I'm not
was not the
crazy.
case. No, it was
Okay.
definitely they were receiving masks by like the box full. But how would they have masks? I didn't get there until after the opening sequence.
Oh.
Like, anyways, it's weird. I don't remember.
You had the titular line right there. Gonna be a Scream baby. But yeah, that song, by the way, Red Right Hand, is like, oh, whenever I hear it, I just always
So
think of
good.
this. Well, I think of this movie, and I also think of Dumb and Dumber for some of my other nerds. There's that scene with Jim Carrey walking with all the stuff.
And now it's being used in Peaky Blinders, opening of every
Peaky
show.
Blinders is so good.
Every
Michael!
episode, I
Fucking hell, Michael! Anyways, Ashley with the LEIGH, thank you for popping on.
Thank you so
No
much.
worries. Thanks
We
for answering my
appreciate you.
question.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
doubt.
All right, enjoy the rest of the movie. All right, I'm gonna bring up Midnite Movie Magic since they got such an awesome name. Throw us some love.
Nice.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah.
I got like spit all over my face. Look at, I'm like,
I was supposed to go see Scream today, but I tested positive for COVID, sadly.
oh, Bill. Good for you, though, for staying
Oh.
home.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
He just stabbed me. Oh, my God. I think this is hilarious.
This scene gets comical. It's great.
Look, he's all pissed. I'm telling you exactly what you guys see at home.
How it mirrored this in Scream 4.
Oh!
Sorry, we're interrupting. So Midnite Movie Magic. What was your question? Sorry, we're kind of cutting you off there.
Sorry,
So
it's so fun.
Sorry.
More on the filmmaking end, I have a few ideas for like long form movies or maybe a mini series, and I want to run it by you guys to see if like they have potential.
Oh, not right now, though. Not right now. Not right now at the end of the movie. But here's the good news about this community. I'm spitting everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, he stabbed me again. We want that idea. We want to hear the idea. The community wants things in the community.
Yes, we want
But
the
now
community
is
members
not
to be able
the
to
time.
share stuff, spitball ideas, and yeah, we want you to be able to
Oh!
yeah, we'll do that soon.
Yeah, I mean, I also have a few more questions. What was your favorite movie of 2021? I know that there weren't a lot of good ones, but you know, there were at least more than 2020.
Yeah. By the way, that blood, they made us cut the blood sequence because you heard the dripping the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isolated the sound?
Yeah, they made us cut the sound because it was too much. It was too much details.
I would say my favorite probably, maybe it's just because it's the most recent that I remember, but probably the new Spider-Man. I had a lot of fun watching that one.
Man, the theater went crazy whenever I went to go see that. That was like the best theater experience ever. Hands
good.
down.
Yeah, that's the kind of movie you want that reminds you why you went to the theater in the first place, to like have that like collective experience with everybody.
That is exactly right. For me, and it's kind of crazy, I've watched the movie 3 times. Dune, it was one of my favorite movies.
Oh yes,
in a
Dune was
long
amazing.
time.
Dude, that movie was. I was so angry to hear that they haven't even made the second one yet. I was like, "Is this coming out in a couple months?"
Years and years, right?
Oh, I know.
See, I heard that visually it's stunning, but
it's incredible.
Oh yeah, like I went to like the IMAX and stuff, and it was just
It's
beyond. Like, you're just so
incredible.
immersed.
It's
So
spectacular, and the movie's great. The performances are great. It holds together. I mean, crack. Oh.
It's really hard to find really cool visual like art house big budget films nowadays because everything is now just this superhero
Yeah.
Which I have no problem with. I think those. I'm a huge comic nerd, so I go ahead and make thousands of those. But just
Well, that's what we want to do here, right? We want to take the community. I think I'm dying here. I'm getting a kick out of this. Sorry. That's our whole goal. Our whole goal is to make movies, right? We're not here to take anyone's money. We're here to take the money that's coming from the NFT and make movies as a community. So we're pretty stoked about the whole idea.
You know what I'm already thinking? I'm already kind of excited for when we do one of these with our first movie. Like, how insane is that going to be when we're watching like a Midnite Movie Club movie with everybody in the community? This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just really excited, guys.
Quiet, guys. Here it comes. I'm coming. Up.
That's a great line of peer pressure.
That was the line.
I use that one all the time. Oh, there we go. It's so good.
And he stabs couches for no reason.
Dude, this is so great.
Hello? I love it when he answers. He's like, hello?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, listen, bro. Thank you for jumping in. Thank you for asking a question. Here's the thing. We hope to provide you as soon as we mint and the sort of community's closed, we want to provide opportunities for people to bring in their ideas. We want to have a world in which you can share your pitch, that you can bring it to the community. You can get notes. You can help it get better. Like, you can work with the community to make the best possible script you can. So the idea is like, is this movie a movie, a scripted movie? Is it a miniseries? Hopefully we'll have enough people in our chat to be able to, or in our community to be able to help you. By the way, he has Skeet had open heart surgery as a kid, and that second hit, she hit him in like the this is total bullshit. In like where he had surgery. In the nuts. He can live through that. He punches her. He can live through that.
Oh, wait. Here, this is your moment, isn't it? Uh-oh.
This is it. That's not me. You can see that it's a stuntman. We're wrestling.
Did you take that hit?
Yeah, that was me. I took that hit.
Nice.
And then look. Not dead. Not dead. So when we meet, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a TV and I'm going to throw it on my face, and I will prove to you I do not die.
Well, tell everyone. I remember I just learned about this recently, that you were originally going to be in the third one.
Yeah. That's a sad but true story.
Such a missed opportunity. Yeah. That with the cult of ghost faces, that should have been the original Scream 3. Such an amazing concept.
Oh God. I can't believe I'm surprised. I keep getting surprised.
It's great. That's why it holds up for so long.
Gail Weathers.
Yeah. In the clutch.
It's a good death scene. It's so gnarly.
It is.
He does not come back.
I thought he does. Doesn't he have a little jump? Or did I just really want to?
No, I'm saying like in the movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, there's no out for him.
For me though.
Yeah, there's a chance.
I could still be alive. I think as a community we have to rally behind this idea.
Yeah. You could be all like scarred from the glass shattering in your face and get some cool makeup done.
Word.
All right, thanks, Midnite Movie Magic. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
Of course.
We'll talk to you later. All right, here we go.
Jamie's so good in this movie. Done. So Scream 3 was supposed to be Stu Macher in prison, running teenagers as like a small cult and killing people in Woodsboro. And 3 months before we went into pre-production, Columbine High School happened, and they did the right thing, and they changed the script completely.
Oh man, yeah, dude, that's crazy. But
There
it
you
sounds
go.
like very similar to like the following that Kevin Williamson did. Did he kind of spin that into a new idea, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, at
Just the
that, I
idea
mean,
of cults and stuff. I mean, that was years and years later.
yeah, and that was, I mean, like the thing about making movies, I think, and you know this, like you go knee deep, you tell us, you work for months on end to create something, and then you go separate ways, and you go do it another, somewhere else with a different family. It's like you have a family, like every movie. Kathleen Turner said in my movie I would do, movies like being in a marriage that has a built-in divorce, and that's it. We just finished our first screening.
Well, you're like kind of like living in a carnival. Yeah, we did. Hey, directed by Wes Craven.
Wes Craven, God
We
bless
did
his
it.
heart. Bro, we did it. Do we still have people here? 332. That's not bad. That's not a bad attrition rate.
There's a lot of hands still raised in the chat that we got. And we also have the questions that people submitted. Do you want me to read through those during the credits? And we can just do a speed round real quick.
Go fast, yeah. Speed round, and then we'll stop talking. We just talked for 2 hours.
Yeah, I think
nobody cares about us.
I think that some of them we've already covered, so I'll read through them. Did Wes Craven or any of the other creators of Scream hide anything from the cast during filming? Anything you only found out once the film was released? Okay, that was from Mel.
No, nothing. It's just it was before people really did that.
Okay. Jack from Australia is asking, what was your time like filming Scooby-Doo in Australia? What was your favorite memory from making?
Great. I've done a couple. I've done a couple movies down there. And I love it. I love being we were on the Gold Coast at a place called Surfer's Paradise. I mean, just think about how magical that is. It was as awesome as it sounds. Surfer's Paradise on the Gold Coast. But the people are great. Australia's fantastic. New Zealand's great. I mean, if people have never been to that part of the world, I understand it's hard to get down there. It's expensive and a long flight, but it's really worth it. The people are fantastic and the world's great.
Got your credit card up right now.
I did. Oh,
did you stop?
I didn't. I stopped. Yeah.
They got like the picture credits going.
That's fine.
Okay, next question I think we answered was, we need to know, were Billy and Stu secretly lovers? You said yes.
Yes, of course. They were hot.
Did you have fun chasing Nev upstairs while in costume? That was not you. We were
not me.
Talked about that.
Yeah.
While filming Scream, what was it like to work with Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Nev Campbell? Did you guys interact much outside filming? We covered that.
Yeah.
Zoinks, Matt, what's your top favorite movies to watch? Scary movies. We talked about that. Jaws and all those. How does it feel to be the funniest and the kindest, nicest actor ever?
Wow. I mean, I want you to know something. It feels fucking fantastic. I just thought I should pass in that moment just to add a little flavor. No, I do think that, look, in terms of like fans and community, here's my belief is that I understand the value of being somebody who's quote unquote famous. And I sort of respect and cherish that. And so I think that, look, you can look at a transaction between a celebrity and a fan in one of two ways. You can either be like, yeah, I don't care, or you can take it really seriously and be like, I'm honored to sort of hold that place for people. So I don't know. I think that if you treat people with kindness, kindness goes around, and I think the world's a better place for when people are kind. That's my jam.
Absolutely. I agree. The next question is from Amy, and it's that was a good one. Matt, how has your process changed over the years in terms of how you approach a character or film now compared to when you were starring in earlier films? Is there any advice you would give a younger self? What would you give your younger self about anything?
I would tell myself I'm not fat and ugly, first of all. Second of all, yeah, I mean, look, you look at that movie now, he's chewing the scenery. I'm chewing the scenery. There's like all this energy that's comes, every time I'm on screen, there was like this audacity of energy. And I think that I still believe that energy is the single most sexy thing in a performance. I think the energy is incredible to watch, and it draws people in. People in energy are electric, but there's a time to use it, and it doesn't have to be in every scene. So I've
Absolutely.
learned a lot. I mean, it's like, from a boy, I mean, I started acting in 8th grade. I'm 52 next week. I mean, the difference between that boy to me now is like age, time, wisdom, endurance. Like, it's like being that, like, the battle weary lion on the Serengeti. I've been around the block a bunch, and it's just sort of learned so much over the years. Does anyone care at this point? Shouldn't we talk about the NFT? Let's talk about community and let's get out of here, because I feel like people are going to end up turning on me and be like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear anything.
Hey, well, here you go. Here you go. The last question on the sheet is what inspired you and Bill to make the Midnight Movie Club?
Well, you
Let me say.
answer that. I talk
It says, and Bill, how did you get Matthew on board? This is from Harley.
It's a
Yeah.
great question.
Okay. So the Midnight Movie Club, where this came from, was actually, when I was kind of getting into NFTs with the sneaky vamps.
Well, go back. Talk about crypto for a second. Go tell them the whole story.
The whole story, like how far
well,
back?
Fast, yeah, but do it fast.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I got into crypto. What was that, like 8 years ago, 2013? I'd heard about it, didn't know really anything about it. Asked some friends, they didn't really know anything, and so I was kind of following. Bitcoin at that time was at like $147. I did not ape into it, which I really regret. But I was like playing around with like some mining stuff and making a little bit of money here and there, and setting some stuff up to kind of earn a little bit in the background. And yeah, then all these years later, it blew up back in 2017, 2018. And then it dropped again. And I was like, oh, this is, not going anywhere. And then it bounced back again. And yeah, so I just didn't want to miss that opportunity. So when I first heard about NFTs, I kind of, again, thought what most people thought. These are just JPEGs. People are paying too much money. Like there's got to be some sort of like Ponzi scheme or money laundering. Why are people paying for this? And then it was with the Sneaky Vamps that I like found it. And I saw that they had like a video game. They're building a great community and all this like utility that they were adding to it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that like NFTs could do that. And I started researching the technology underneath and how the blockchain allows you to do things like having community votes where everybody's registered on the blockchain. And it's kind of a secure way to do activities like that. And my brain started going. I'm like, oh my God, we could be doing stuff with movies. And just seeing how much these projects were raising, I was like, after having to deal with like actual investors in the movie industry, where it's like the movie that we're going to do for the Midnight Movie Club, we've been developing for like a year and a half. Like I was dealing with a previous investor, and then eventually at a certain point, and this is hard as an independent filmmaker, they started trying to change the deal and all this different stuff, and I just had to walk away from like a fully financed budget. But I was like, no, this project's too good, and I really want to make this movie the right way. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just do the punk rock way. Let's just like try to do this NFT thing. Let's make it about building a community and making multiple movies, because I never did a Kickstarter. I just never felt right. I was just always worried like no one would show up. Like I'd ask a couple of friends to help finance a movie, and then you're just like, oh, we didn't make enough. That's kind of just a bummer. So I never did a Kickstarter. And I also just felt bad taking like friends and family's money without having anything to offer in return other than like a T-shirt or credit in the movie. Whereas with NFTs, I'm like, my brain just like exploded. I was like, we could have people voting on the movies. We could have them greenlighting the movies. We'll pitch like movies to them, and they'll tell us which one we want to see. And then we can, have like, contests where we can bring people on for, like walk-on roles as an extra or something, and get some experience on set, because that's how me and Matt both started. Like our first times on set was being movie extras, which was kind of cool and exciting. And yeah, so then I just have been thinking about this thing. I sort of soft pitched it to the Vamps. It's kind of been like, hey, actually, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin what our movie is. But anyways, so then cut to, I had this idea, and I've known Matt for a while now. We met on Fat Kid, which is the movie that Matthew directed. I was working at Whitewater Films, which was the company that produced it. And yeah, I remember the first day that you showed up in the office, I like froze because I was such a huge fan. Like I told you, you're like one of the 5 people that like that inspired me to get into films. And like I was sitting in the conference room and like had just a clear shot at the door, and you walked in, and I was like, what the fuck is Matthew Lillard doing here? Like I didn't even talk to you that whole day, like, because I was so nervous. You popped in for a bit. I don't even think I said hi. I was too nervous. And then eventually we met, and like it was great. But so I hit him up recently, and I was like, I think I just texted you like, hey, I got something I want to talk to you. No, I emailed you. I go, I got something I want to talk to you about. And you're like, ooh, sounds ominous. And you're like, what's that? And I go, one word, NFTs. And you're like, that's a big word. Let's like have for coffee the next day. And then I feel like that was yesterday, and now here we are like doing a movie screening. And we have like 1,000
and
people.
you said, by the way, in that movie, in that meeting, you're like, the NFT space, each hour is like 3 days. And
Yeah, it's
you look
crazy.
from where we are Monday to the end of tonight. I mean, what's our number now in terms of people joining in? Almost 1,500, almost 1,500 people. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's great. People are wondering what we're going to do it with in terms of our next movie. We reached out to an actor today to see if he wanted to come in. He's a friend of both of ours, and want to see if he wanted to come in and screen next week. So hopefully we'll have something. I mean, our whole thing is like we're trying to build community. Once we get to like a critical mass, we'll mint, and then once we mint, we'll build community behind the NFT wall, and that's when we start digging into night school. We start digging into pre-production for a movie we're ready to go. So
Yeah,
as soon as the
it's
money
gonna be
hits
so
the
much
community
fun.
wallet, we're gonna start like there's action, right? It's not like we're gonna sit here and go, now what do we do? I mean, we fucking know.
No,
And
we're ready to shoot this in the spring. We're gonna be going soon. Like, I'm hoping that like people are gonna be able to watch this by the end of the year. And we're gonna be sitting here at the same spot watching that movie, having fun with everybody.
yeah. So she's been so patient and polite for a question. Who? Somebody? Sorry.
Are you in the chat? Where are you
Great.
at?
No, yeah, great. I went back to the chat, which is
Okay.
Oh, it's somebody's
tell
happy
me- tell me-
birthday. Oh, it's somebody's 12th birthday. Can you wish Kitty Cat's 123 happy birthday? She's 12.
They wanna-
No,
they
we do.
wanna-
When there's somebody who's 12. You go like this. Boings. Happy birthday, ma'am. Which is the Shaggy. That kid may
That's
not know who
awesome.
it is.
Hopefully.
Anyways, but that's it. Let's get off this thing. I'm gonna have a cocktail.
Okay, yeah. Go pour
And
yourself
then
a drink. You did
I'm gonna
great
sit in
today.
the chat for a second. But Bill, you I just want to take a second to say, like, dude, this is all you. You started it. You're like you are the leader of this group, and I am your second in command, and I'm super happy to serve your vision. But we would not be here for what, and I think that
thank
what
you for the kind
you're
words. I
building
really
is
appreciate
awesome.
that. What we're building. You're a partner. I could not ask for a better partner in this project. I'm just so excited that you said yes. And we're like, what the fuck's an NFT? And they're just like,
I'm super happy to be by your side, and I'm super happy that as of today, 4 days in, we're getting traction. So it's super cool. So thanks,
great.
man.
Awesome.
All right, you guys.
Everybody have a good night. We'll see you in the
Much
chat.
love. Yeah, much love.